In a time of deep suffering, when fear ruled the hearts of many and hope seemed like a distant memory, the people of Israel lived under the heavy oppression of the Philistines. These enemies were strong, organized, and relentless. They controlled the land, dictated the lives of the people, and crushed any attempt at resistance. For years, Israel cried out for deliverance. Families were torn apart. Dreams were silenced. And it seemed as though no one could stand against the power of their oppressors. But even in silence, even in suffering, God had not forgotten his people. Behind the scenes, beyond what human eyes could see, a plan was already in motion. In a quiet and ordinary home lived a woman who had carried the pain of barrenness for many years. She had prayed. She had hoped. She had waited. But nothing had changed. Until one day, everything did. An angel appeared to her with a message that would rewrite her destiny.
You will conceive and bear a son. No razor shall touch his head, for the child shall be a Nazirite, set apart for God from the womb. He will begin to deliver Israel.
The woman wept, not from fear, but from awe. She was filled with gratitude for God had remembered her. When the child was born, they named him Samson. As Samson grew, so did his strength. But this was no ordinary strength, it was power given by God. One day, as a young man, Samson walked through a vineyard. The air was still. The path was quiet. But suddenly, without warning, a lion leaped out from the shadows. Its roar shattered the silence. Its claws were ready. Its attack was swift. For any ordinary man, this would have been the end. But Samson was not ordinary. In that moment, the Spirit of God came upon him with power. Without hesitation, without fear, Samson faced the lion. With his bare hands, he grabbed it. And with raw, unstoppable strength, he tore it apart. No weapon. No armor. Just divine power. This moment marked the beginning of a reputation that would spread across the land. Samson was becoming a force. A weapon. A symbol of resistance. Despite his strength, despite his calling, Samson struggled deeply with self-control. He was impulsive. Driven by desire. Often choosing what felt right, instead of what was right. Again and again, he ignored the boundaries set for him. And slowly, those choices began to shape his downfall. Samson developed a pattern of seeking relationships with women from the Philistines, the very people he was meant to stand against. It was a dangerous path. A path filled with compromise. But he continued anyway.
Samson, she is a Philistine, our enemy. Why do you seek a wife from among those who oppress us?
She pleases me.
Love is the only battlefield where the strongest man can be brought to his knees.
Find the secret of his strength. Entice him. We will each give you 1,100 pieces of silver.
I will do as you ask.
Delilah looks at the coins. Then smiles. Behind her smile was a hidden agenda.
If you truly love me, Samson, tell me, where does your great strength come from?
Bind me with 7 fresh bowstrings, and I will be like any other man.
She tries, but he breaks free easily. She gets angry, and the Philistine soldier who came to capture him flee.
How can you say you love me when you don't trust me? You've lied to me 3 times now.
No razor has ever touched my head. I have been a Nazirite to God since birth. If my head is shaved, my strength will leave me.
In that moment, the secret was no longer safe. That night, as Samson slept, Delilah acted. She called for the Philistines. Quietly, carefully, they cut his hair. And in that silent moment, everything changed. The presence that once empowered him, lifted. The strength that once defined him, disappeared. When Samson woke up, he didn't realize what had happened. He thought he could fight as before. He thought he could escape. But this time, he was weak. For the first time in his life, Samson was powerless. The Philistines rushed in. They captured him. They overpowered him. They blinded him. And they chained him. The man who once inspired fear, now inspired mockery. He was taken into captivity and forced into hard labor. Day after day, he ground grain like an animal. No vision. No freedom. No strength. Only darkness. Only silence. Only regret. But even in that broken place, something began to change. Time passed. Slowly, quietly, his hair began to grow again. And with it, something deeper began to return. Not pride. Not arrogance. But humility. Reflection. Dependence on God. Meanwhile, the Philistines celebrated their victory. They believed their enemy had been permanently defeated. They organized a massive gathering inside their temple. Thousands filled the space. Music echoed through the walls. Laughter filled the air. And at the center of it all, was pride. They praised their gods. They mocked Samson. And then, they called for him. Bring him out. Let him entertain us. Blind and broken, Samson was led into the temple. The crowd laughed. They pointed. They celebrated his fall. But they didn't understand something. Samson's story was not over. He asked to be guided to the pillars that held up the temple.
Lead me to the pillars. Let me lean against them.
Yes, I will guide you.
And there, in that moment, he did something he hadn't done in a long time. He prayed.
Lord God, remember me. Strengthen me just this once, O God, that I may take vengeance and let me die with the Philistines.
It was not a long prayer. It was not a perfect prayer. But it was real. And God heard him. In that moment, strength returned. Not just physical strength. But purpose. Clarity. Destiny. Samson placed his hands on the pillars. He took a deep breath and pushed. At first, nothing happened. Then, a crack. Then, movement. Then, chaos. The ground shook. The pillars broke. The structure trembled. And suddenly, the entire temple collapsed. In that final moment, Samson defeated more enemies than he ever had before. His life ended. But his purpose was fulfilled. Samson's story is not just about strength. It is about weakness. It is about choices. It is about consequences. And it is about redemption. It reminds us that even those chosen for great things can fall. That, strength without discipline can lead to destruction. But most importantly, it reminds us that failure is never final. Because even in our lowest moments, God is still able to restore. Still able to forgive. Still able to use us again. Samson fell. But in the end, he rose. And his story continues to speak. Even today. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share and turn on your notification button for more Bible stories like this.